It is a cold day here in Missouri, and it is the Martin Luther King holiday, so Jason's off work. I think we had temperatures down to 5 degrees last night, which is really cold compared to what we're used to. But he's off work. Kids, you know, I'm just letting them take the day off of our schoolish things. And so we watched the inauguration this morning, and now I am doing some work in the kitchen. So Elsie helped me get started on one thing, which I will show you. And then I'm going to see what else I can get done. If I can get things done on the weekend, which it's Monday, but it's sort of like still a weekend, for the coming week, it really helps me out in the busyness of day to day. So, of course, I have all these ideas of what I'd like to get done, but basically anything that I accomplish puts me one step ahead for the week to come. This is what Elsie started making. Sorry it's noisy in here. Kids are roller skating in the house, and it's a little house, so you know how that goes. But they're actually not very good at roller skating, so it's perfect. Anyway, Elsie made this, which half of it's been eaten, but it was just these sprouted oats here, peanut butter, honey, chia seeds. I think that's all she put in it. Oh, and I added some of the collagen peptides from Costco because it just adds some extra protein. So she mixed that up. We were going to put it in the freezer for this week, but a bunch of hungry kids came through, and half of it's gone already, as you can see. Not a whole lot left. So I might just add some more ingredients in to bulk it back up again, and then I can make it into little bites and stick it in the freezer. These are the roller skaters. How's it going, guys?
Good.
Good. Skating around. Jeremiah's listening to a Boxcar Children audio. Once I get this out of here, I'm going to wash this bowl and then start making butter. This is the amount of cream that I took off of those jars this morning. I think this was, I'm trying to think. I think this was off of 2.5 gallons of milk. If I'm remembering right. I think I went through 5 jars and skimmed the top. So I'm going to start making this into butter. I need to feed my sourdough starter because the other thing that I did this morning before I got the camera out was mix up a bunch of pasta dough. This is the pasta dough that I made with the starter that I had. So I did a recipe that I will link below. I think it's Little Spoon Farm pasta. It's sourdough pasta recipe. I just used all-purpose flour for this. I was in a hurry when I mixed it up this morning and just wanted to get it done. So I'm letting this sit on the counter until this evening, and then I will actually just roll it out. I'm not going to take any time drying it. I'm just going to roll it out and cook it for dinner tonight. I had Jason bring me in 2 chickens from our freezer. These are our chickens. I'm going to cut these open. I'm going to make a huge pot of chicken broth. So I learned something about chicken broth. I used to let it go for hours and hours, or I'd put it in a crock pot and, you know, have broth for days, like a perpetual broth. But I learned that the longer the broth cooks, the higher the histamines are. This is what I heard on a podcast. And whenever we did the GAPS diet a year ago, one of my children who had done it to try to help with like some eczema type symptoms, they got worse. And I think it was from the broth that I had simmering so long. Not that this was because of it, but I think that one of the problems was that I was serving her this really high histamine. The GAPS diet in general I learned is high in histamines, but the broth, of course, would have made that worse. So anyway, just little things I'm learning, always something to learn. So I'm going to put this in now. They're frozen, and I'm going to just let's see. I'm going to let this simmer for the next couple of hours because they're from frozen. So it's going to simmer for a couple of hours, and then I'll pull out the chicken, take the chicken off the bones, and we'll use this broth. My camera. We'll use this broth before, instead of letting it cook all day long, we'll use it when it's more fresh and new.
So they sent me a
Monkey.
A Benjamin. He was too naughty. I sent him back.
Elsie has been working today on adding earrings to her shop. Did you know she has a shop where she sells earrings?
Elsie's earrings.
It's called Elsie's Earrings. She made some cat earrings. A lot of them are beaded earrings that are really beautiful, but she added some fun kid or big people who like cats, I guess. Very cute. It's on Etsy if you want to check it out. I should share a link with them. She has bracelet earring combinations. Good Valentine's Day present. Push you the other way. There you go. So when I feed my sourdough starter, I am very not professional about this. I put in some water to maybe double what's already there, and then I just add flour until it's kind of like thick and pasty like that. And that's it. My kids made me these sourdough stirrers for Christmas out of walnut from our walnut tree. Isn't that cool? Anyway, that's it. That's all I do. And then I leave it sit till tomorrow. The butter is done. It went really fast. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it takes a really long time. Bella's home from work, so I'm gonna ask her to rinse that for me. That's the rest of the cream that needs to be done. I did a little more than half of this half-gallon jar. On the refrigerator, this is my updated meal plan. I update them every once in a while. Can you see it? Can you see it? Sometimes it's hard to focus. Am I focused? I don't know. Maybe it'll help if I zoomed in.
That's it.
So we have been doing something differently lately. I don't know if you can see this, but we have been doing brunch, snack, and dinner instead of lunch. It just works better for our family. I have kids that get up at different times. Some little kids get up really early, and they have a snack in the morning to hold them over. But when we have brunch all together as a family... You okay, sis?
I'm wondering what are you doing?
Oh, I think it's down by Elsie. Okay, anyway... So we have brunch together as a family, and it just works out better. Minus Jason during the week. But anyway, then we have a snack and then dinner. And so I made myself this meal plan to kind of give me a guide. Of course, I don't always follow it perfectly, but it gives me a guide. And it also has this little section here that says prep for tomorrow. So I know that if I want to make tomorrow happen, these are the things that I need to do. So there you go. That's my effort at being more organized. Ever more organized. Random things I can do over the weekend if I have spare time, which is today. So mayonnaise, granola, we did granola bites, salad dressing. I don't really need to do right now because I don't have any lettuce. Thawing meat. So I'm going to run out to the freezer and do that. And what else? I'll put some beans to soak in jars. That's an easy one. Yep. And yogurt. That's something else I want to do, making yogurt. Are the dogs barking?
No.
Yes? Say yes.
Wow. And I'm gonna do what?
I'm going to try not to slip on the ice out here. It's just been frozen, everything frozen. Jason tried to kind of, move the snow and get our lane road and our circle drive to a place where it wouldn't be frozen, but it kind of rained, snowed, melted, and then froze again, and it is so slippery. But anyway, I'm going to the barn where my freezers are to get meat. So this is one of the easiest things that you can do to prep for your week. Our freezers are out in the barn, which is great in the winter. Definitely puts greater stress on them in the summer, but it's just what we have. It's what we've made work. In our little house, there's no room for freezers inside, so this is what we do. We're going to pull out, oops, that's my bag. We're going to pull out some pork sausage. You guys know that we butchered our own animals for several years now, even our beef cows, even our big beef cows. But this last year when I was on bed rest and Jason had a big job change, we just had to let something go for that year and we sent our animals away. So it felt like a big luxury to have a bunch of packaged meat come back to us. But we prefer to do it ourselves. Doing it yourself means that you know exactly what's in that package. We also like to grind the organ meat into the ground, and this place wouldn't do that. So now we have a bunch of organs in the freezer, which you know how that goes. It's just not as convenient. So we will go back to doing our own. We have 2 rams that need to be butchered, but it's too cold right now. I have multiple freezers for different things. So this one had pork and other miscellaneous things. This is my beef and venison freezer, which right now it is getting low. And we don't have another cow lined up. So that's kind of a sad thing. We may end up having to buy a cow from somebody else. We just went through a lot more than I thought this year. I also have a ton of tomatoes in here that I still need to make into sauce. Again, I had a baby, a surprise baby 6 weeks early, and so we just started throwing tomatoes in the freezer and they cooked down fine. It's all good. So I'm going to get a few of these. What am I going to get out here? I'm going for a roast. I'm going to look for a roast. This is my first priority because this is the oldest. So I'm going to use this up. Some of these were buried down in the freezer and I didn't see them. So I'm going to pull that out for this week. This is how much butter we got out of those 2.5 gallons of milk. So I have this butter mold that I keep in the freezer so that I don't have to wash it, honestly. I just keep cramming butter in, popping the sticks out, wrapping them in parchment paper, and then putting more in. So that's what we're going to do right now. It's been salted, rinsed and salted, and we're going to put it into sticks. And Lydia likes to help with everything. She is the queen helper girl. Right, Lydia? If you kind of make it into a log shape, it's easier because they're going into a log shape type thing.
And enough for
This is my pasta making attachment that goes on the KitchenAid mixer. Both of these were gifts a while back from viewers. Isn't that incredible? So this is the pasta dough. It's a little too sticky, unfortunately, but I remedy that by using rice flour to roll it out. I find rice flour to be the best flour for doing rolling things out or flouring your bannetons or anything like that because it doesn't have any gluten in it and it doesn't stick. It's really, really good for that. I picked the chicken off the bone, set it aside, threw the bones back in to simmer a little longer, and then I chopped an onion and carrots, sauteed it in here, and then dumped part of the broth back in, and I'm going to make a real thick like chicken and dumplings for dinner tonight. So I'm going to put those noodles right in here and then cook them for 4 minutes and throw in the leftover chicken and seasonings, and that'll be done. The rest of this broth and part of the chicken, because I didn't need 2 chickens worth in here, I'm going to put in the refrigerator, and that will be for meals later in the week. I'm going to stop for the night. I have this chicken and dumplings type pasta. I'm calling it chicken and dumplings. It's ready to eat, so we're going to eat that, and I'm just going to call it quits for today. Thanks so much for joining me.